All right, let's tackle the one question every single person who lifts weights has asked at some point. Am I resting enough? Or maybe I'm resting too much? Well, today we're going to get you the scientific answer. Let's jump right in.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Your progress, your gains, they aren't just made in the gym while you're lifting. They're actually built on your days off. But if you get that timing wrong, you could be stalling your own progress, or worse, setting yourself up for an injury. So the big question is, are your rest days actually optimized for growth?
And the key to unlocking this entire puzzle? It comes from this amazing, super straightforward chart. We're going to use this as our roadmap today. It breaks down muscle recovery time with, honestly, incredible clarity. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to read it and use it to your advantage.
So here's the game plan. First up, we'll cover why rest is just so darn important for muscle growth in the first place. Then, we'll dive into the 3 key recovery windows you see here, the 24, the 48, and the 72-hour periods. And then, the best part, we'll put it all together to show you how to build a much smarter workout week.
Okay, so let's start with the absolute foundation, right? Why do we even need rest days? It all comes down to the actual science of how your muscles get bigger and stronger.
So here's how it works. When you're in the gym, lifting, what you're really doing is creating these tiny little micro tears in your muscle fibers. And it's during your rest days that the real magic happens. Your body goes into repair mode, sending all the good stuff, nutrients, hormones, to those muscles. It doesn't just patch them up. It rebuilds them a little bit bigger and stronger than before, so they can handle that stress better next time. So no rest, no repair. And no repair means no growth. It really is that simple.
Okay, time to get into the nitty-gritty from our chart, starting with the muscles that bounce back the fastest. Let's just call them the quick responders.
These muscles, they're ready to go again after just one full day of rest. If you try to work them more often than that, you start to see diminishing returns. You're basically just breaking them down over and over without ever giving them the chance to actually build back up.
First up on our list are the abs. Your core is literally designed for endurance and stabilization. I mean, it's active in almost everything you do all day long, so it's got this fantastic ability to recover super quickly. That makes it a perfect candidate for more frequent training sessions.
Next, we've got the biceps. Now this is really interesting because it shows us a key principle. Smaller muscle groups generally need less time to repair. I mean, it just makes sense, right? There's less tissue to rebuild. It's a smaller area for your body to send blood and nutrients to. And since the biceps are pretty small, they're back in the game in just about 24 hours.
And rounding out our 24-hour crew are the forearms. You know, a lot like your abs, you use them constantly for gripping things and all sorts of daily tasks. That gives them a really high work capacity and, you guessed it, a speedy recovery time.
All right, let's move on to the next category. These are what I like to call the mid-size movers, the muscles that do a lot of the heavy lifting in your workouts, and because of that, need a little more time on the sidelines. So the key number here is 48. This group needs 2 full days to properly repair and get stronger before you hit them hard again. That's really the sweet spot if you want to see growth. First up in the 48-hour club is the chest. Think about an exercise like a heavy bench press. You're moving a lot of weight, and you're engaging a really big, powerful muscle group. The damage from a workout like that, yeah, it's going to take a solid 48 hours to fully mend. Next on the list, shoulders. Now the shoulder is an incredibly complex joint. You've got multiple muscle heads all working together. Things like overhead presses and lateral raises put a really unique kind of strain on this area. So giving them 2 days is just essential, not just for muscle growth, but for your long-term joint health too. And finally, the triceps. And this is so cool because it shows how muscle groups work together in systems. Since your triceps are doing a ton of work in basically all of your chest and shoulder pressing movements, it makes perfect sense that they need the exact same 48-hour recovery window. See how it all connects?
And now we get to the real heavyweights of your anatomy. These are the largest, most powerful muscles in your body, and you got to give them the most respect when it comes to recovery.
That's right, a full 3 days of rest. Seriously, trying to train these massive muscle groups more than once every 72 hours is a classic recipe for overtraining, hitting a plateau, and getting injured. You just don't want to go there.
Your back is the perfect example. It's not just one muscle. It's this huge, intricate network of muscles running all the way from your neck down to your hips. Big exercises like deadlifts or heavy rows put a massive strain on your entire body, and that requires the longest recovery period to fully rebuild. And of course, we have to talk about legs.
Your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, they are the engine of your entire body. Lifts like squats and leg presses recruit a massive amount of muscle fiber, and they also tax your central nervous system like crazy. Giving them a full 72 hours isn't just a suggestion, it is an absolute must for real, noticeable growths.
Okay, so that's the science, awesome. But how do we turn all this information into an actual plan? Let's talk about building an intelligent workout week using this chart as our guide.
So let's just walk through this sample split together. Let's say you hit legs hard on Monday. Following our 72-hour rule, they're resting all of Tuesday and Wednesday, and they are fully recovered and ready to go again by Thursday at the earliest. Then on Tuesday, you train chest and triceps. They need 48 hours, so they're rested and ready to assist in other lifts by Friday. And this structure lets you perfectly slot in the quick recovering biceps and abs on Wednesday, because they only need 24 hours. You see? This is how you build a week that prevents muscle overlap and guarantees everyone gets the optimal recovery they need.
So let's just boil this all down one more time. Remember this simple rule of recovery: 24 hours for your small muscles, like biceps and abs, 48 hours for your medium push and pull muscles, like your chest and shoulders, and a full 72 hours for your biggest power players, the back and the legs. The whole goal is just to plan your week to honor these timelines.
And that brings us to our final and honestly most important point. This chart gives us an incredible science-backed framework to start with, but it's not absolute law. Things like your age, your nutrition, how well you're sleeping, your stress levels, they all play a huge role in recovery. So use this as your starting guide, but always listen to your body. Is it sore? Is it telling you it needs more time? That's the data that matters most.